cool, inspiring?
Annoying. It's hard. It's hard to counter. You know, like.
It's hard to know what to counter and what to leave alone.
Yeah, yeah. Like, because if you polish it too much, you'll just make every character the same. Like, eventually, you got to like let some imbalances go because it's what makes a character.
Just make every character two feather.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of people have suggested that. Why don't you make all the characters the same, you know, or something like that? It's like, well, maybe I will in another game, but that's not this game. You know, I made this game to be kind of like I don't know, asymmetrical, I guess.
Something you can play over and over.
Yeah, though in this context, we should probably restart the game because I don't think we're gonna hit a difficulty curve that's even close to finishable. It's going to be this forever.
But it's so pretty. There's so much whiskey and colors. It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
I think that's what needs a GIMP, actually. The whiskey drops.
Yeah.
It's because we go into slow-mo that we can't dodge. Another thing for the list. Yeah, see, like I said, you just can't enjoy it. I'm like, 20 days out, I should be, you know, like ecstatic that the game is basically done, minus some bugs and balance, but I can't. I'm just sitting here writing shit.
What's the most, if you could give one piece of advice to anyone who aspires to be in gaming, what would that be?
Just follow what you want to do. I think there's enough people out there that have made amazing things that lots of people didn't expect. Like, everybody's following a trend right now in the market, whether it be, I don't know what the current trend is, but there's always a trend, right? You know, it was Minecraft games, it was survival games, it was, you know, whatever, Angry Birds clones, whatever the current one is, there's always a trend. Just do your own thing, because the trends always loop around and they go to new things, and maybe what you're making is cooler than the trend. Who knows? Yeah, so that'd be my advice. Just follow what you want to do.
So 10-year-old Paul, would he have just gone nuts over this game?
Yeah, probably. if it was balanced right.
Would he have noticed the balance though? And that's
I don't know if he would. I don't even know if he'd get this far, but because 10-year-old Paul wasn't very good at games, but you know, and it still grates me. I can't get past it.
That's always an interesting thing. Like when you look at your own work, you see all those different things, but most players kind of don't think about balance up until we see this recent trend where people are very interested in like game development and game discussion and criticism. So it seems like not only are some people don't care, but more people not only do they care, but they haven't really developed games, so they don't fully know.
Yeah, I mean, we died. Wow. Was not expecting that.
See, you said it would go on forever. There's always hope.
It's not good enough. The game basically needs to finish in, sort of mapped it to about 15 levels is like kind of the upper limit before it hits its stride of like, you know, too much.
What's the maximum amount of players that you've seen in one session?
We had 7 at PAX, and that was pretty intense. That was locally too, so they all shared the same screen. Like, there was no independent screen. It was like 7 players, 1 screen, and it was just mental. There was just shit going everywhere. Yeah, it was crazy.
What's the weirdest bug that you've encountered in Fistful?
The pig bug. You played much story mode. How when the sheriff turns up, he gives you weird
requests. Yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't always just say pay the fine. He says wear this pig around or wear the pinata or I'm going to set you on fire type thing. It's just bizarre sorts of punishments. The pig started showing up in like arcade mode just at random. Like you'd
oh my gosh.
Spawn a level.
The pig was coming back for revenge?
Yeah, well no, the pig was just on your head at random and it'd appear and disappear and you hear this oink 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 oink. And I remember laughing and the missus was asleep and she comes out and looks at me really weird. I didn't say anything. You know, like, what do you say to that? The pig just bugged out in game and now it's quacking. Sorry, it's winking. What do you say to that? Anyway, it was bizarre. That was probably the most recent one that was like hilarious. Yeah.
We've got a comment on Twitter from one of our players. Took me a while, but I finally understood how to play with Mexican Bomberman. And that's
Cool.
the thing.
Let's restart this game.
Awesome.
Done.
How much script editing do you have to do to make a game like this? Or is the engine a bit more user-friendly than just editing pure script?
There's not much script. There's for a multiplayer game, there's lots of like server-side shit. It's not very fun. That's why like a lot of the bugs that still are in the game are like sort of sync issues, like when someone's got a really slow connection. Or you know, someone's got a really fast connection. There's like discrepancies between the two clients, and it's not only writing a game then, but like writing logic that hooks them up, so like one doesn't fall out of sync, or one, you know, for example, if one falls out of sync and, or you know, like in the example of Fistful, there's a bug that was in there recently that if one client goes to the windscreen too slowly, sometimes they get stuck there because the other client has already passed that state and they're onto the, you know, the next level. So they get stuck on the old level and they just see this, you know, ghosted shit load in. There's all sorts of sort of complexities like that. Yeah, so it's basically it's harder to make this sort of game, and there isn't that much scripting, but there's a lot of like stuff that isn't even really game development related, like server stuff, like you know.
Are you back in the game?
Yeah, sorry, I was just
No worries.
looking out the window. Did you create one?
Yes, I did.
Cool.
I guess we're gonna try versus mode.
Yeah, let's do it. So my lag is going to be an issue in versus, but that's alright.
So what was the initial inspiration for Fistful of Gun? Did you like drink a bunch of whiskey and pass out, and then in the morning you woke up with Fistful of Gun just mysteriously coded on your computer, like the beginnings of it?
Nah, man, it was like I wanted to play local multiplayer on my computer and I only had a joypad, so I just started. It started as like a little like sort of jam-ish game that never got finished because I was just being slack. And then I decided to keep going with it, and I just started tinkering with like weird control combinations, basically, that these characters could have. And yeah, eventually it came up with Abel, the flick character, Noah, and the guy I'm playing, Zeke, the sniper. You guys shouldn't be able to see me, which is great.
Oh, we literally can't see you?
Well, not until I shoot. I'm cloaked. Cloaked, yo!
Oh, you took me out from the bushes, it looks like. Oh gosh, that train is just getting a kill streak. Ah.
So versus mode was just put in because of a user request. They're like, hey, can we have versus mode? I'm like, well, it's not really the point of the game, but why not? You know, it's not... You can grab the star for an extra hit, by the way, but never mind. Someone just killed me.
Heh.
It's kind of why it's hidden behind all the things. Story mode was another one of those. It's like, hey, can we have like a... You know, it was like a local multiplayer game that was really just designed for, you know, 2+ players. Maybe not as many as 9. I think that's a bit ridiculous, but it does support 9 for what it's worth. I don't know if it's worth, like, I don't think 9's the magic number. It's just, you know, it's the upper limit, I guess.
That's like, what's the maximum we could get away with?
On a playable level. Online, it's much lower. I'd say like 4 or 5 online. Like, even that's kind of ridiculous. But local, you can get away with like 8 or 9. I mean, I've played 7 comfortably at PAX. Like, we played like, you know, pretty long game, or 2 games actually at PAX.
Man.
So, yeah, 7's doable, but shit, 9 would be insane. 9 would be absolutely insane.
I have the badge now. What does that mean?
Means when you get hit, I'll show you. shoot you.
Here's the thing. Even though you were not visible, like I could see the little hidden notification pop up.
Oh yeah. That's how you find me. It'll trail me basically until I disappear.
Till you disappear fully into the sunset.
I need my sound. Can't play Versus without sound. Need to hear
So-
explosions.
What is it going to be like when your children are like playing your games? Is that, or when people
I don't know
cite?
if they will play my games, but if they do, cool. I mean, my son's already looking at the screen and stuff, so he's fascinated with the controller. You know, like he likes pressing buttons. He's got his own little TV remote thing, so I mean, he likes that sort of stuff already. So yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully he's into games. We're talking about video games, Nico.
I can just imagine like he grows up, goes on YouTube, and he's like for your next game. He like types in like "you pleb."
Yeah. You never know. Like, he may want to make games. He may want to do something else. Whatever. It's not my choice to. Yeah, it's his choice what he wants to do with his life. But I hope he's into video games because I am.
That's how I started, looking at the screen.
Yeah, I mean. All right, let's go arcade for a bit. Let's play 3 just to see what the balance is like. This will
Awesome.
help.
Yeah,
Bit
sure.
of testing. Save me a bit of time tomorrow.
Awesome, perfect. So, what has it been like, not only being an independent developer, though you aren't really, like, don't really have to answer anybody, working with other team members, how have you done that? What has that process been like?
Well, I don't really work with many people. It's not like I have a... There really is no, like, core team. I make the game, and then I'm, like, tell Sarashi basically what I need. Like, I need a really cool sort of, you know, boss sounding music or some shit like that. You know, like something that's not very specific, but it's good enough for him to go on. And yeah, after that, it's just, you know, let him do his thing and let Lee do his thing, and they just sort of put their parts on top of the pretty much, you know, complete game, and then yeah, just goes from there. Fuck, I died. So yeah, I mean, it's when there's a small team, there's not a whole lot of moving parts, which is what I like. There's just, you're the only major cog, I guess, and everything just moves around you.
Does that mean that there's like less friction as well?
Sure, man. Like, bigger teams, making games in a big team is like, you remember like high school projects, how you'd have,
Yeah.
you know, like there'd be like one person that does all the work, and everybody else slacks. At least that was my experience. That's like making games in a big team. That's exactly what it's like.
I love
If you
how
ha- if-
the sombrero is covering up Abel.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. If you like high school, you know, projects, like working in a group with people you don't know, half of which will not do as much work as you, then you'll love game development in big teams.
That sounds like a dream come true, man.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else have you worked on aside from Fistful of Gun recently? I know one of the big ones was Under the Ocean, and you actually did something. That's how I actually initially found out about you. It wasn't Fistful of Gun, but it was what you did for Under the Ocean. Would you be willing to talk about that?
Yeah, man. Yeah. You mean take it down off Steam?
Yeah, how that entire thing went down. How you,
Well,
basically the
I
lifetime
can't
of
say
that
too
project.
much because I've, like, you know,
Yeah, of
professional
course.
courtesy and all that. But yeah, I mean, long story short, the team just didn't work. Like, this is part of like the whole moving sort of, you know, like too much friction. Like, we both had different ideas on what the game would be, and like, you know, it's given that either of us could like finish that game, you know, solo, and the idea would work. It's just when you have two people that like